I don't know hardly anything, if we're being honest. Bella, where the hell have you been, loca? Oh. Hello, beautiful besties. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Bailey and I like to read a little bit. I had to crack open an Alani, which I don't do super often, but I needed to because we, as in my husband and I, just got back from the movies. We went and saw How to Train Your Dragon and I am sleepy, but the show must go on. I feel like it's very important to know what you're good at, and I pride myself in being able to give bomb-ass book recs. So today, that's what we're gonna do. We are going to be talking about some fantasy romance book recs that I want to give you guys. There's some that are pure romantasy and some that are more plot-based with romance, you know? So that's what we're gonna be yapping about. Relax, settle in, let's get into it. Why not start off with the one series that made it into my possible god tier? Actually, there's two. So that is the Legacy series by Melissa K. Rorick. This series is phenomenal. This is dark fantasy romance, okay? Emphasis on the dark. And if you don't like character growth, I don't think you'll like this. If you do like character growth, I think you're gonna eat this up like it's your last meal. This has legacy, it has fae, it has dragons, it has vampires, it has all the things. This has a found family in it that is absolutely perfect. I love them. Well, they're not perfect, they're imperfect, but that's what makes them perfect to me. The FMC in this, her name is Tessa, and she is a fae. And in this world, the legacy are the ones in charge, not the fae. The legacy are like the royals. They're a step above fae. Every so often, whenever a legacy comes of age, they get a fae to become their source. And it is like this bond, and the fae loses all power over themselves. They basically do whatever the legacy wants. Tessa's not standing for it though. Tessa's like, not gonna be me. I'm gonna be different. It's very, very good. Those are like the bare bones of the story. It really, really opens up the farther into the series that you get. This is also a spin-off series of Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Rorick, which I haven't read Lady of Darkness yet. Melissa said herself that you don't have to read Lady of Darkness before reading Legacy, so that's what I did. I read this one first. I will be going back to read Lady of Darkness. The fourth book is gonna have so much feminine rage, and I am here for it. So that is your first rec, Reign of Shadows and Endings, the Legacy series by Melissa K. Rorick. Moving on, then we have a book that is the definition to me. Like when I think of a romantasy book, this is the book I think of. It is Heavenly Bodies by Imani Iriyu. This was a perfect example of right book, right time for me. I feel like if I had read it any other time in any other mood, I would not have loved it as much, but I just wanted something fun and banter filled and plot twist filled, and this was it. This was it for me. Okay, so in this one, our FMC's name is Alara, okay, and there's a prophecy told about her that she's gonna fall in love with a star. Their gods are the stars, and it's going to destroy them both. And whenever a star comes to her kingdom and destroys her whole kingdom, she manages to escape, but you know where she ends up? She ends up in the enemy kingdom. Okay, she ends up in the arms of the enemy prince. The enemy prince is hot. They loathe each other, and they both try to figure out how they can defeat the stars together. As we know, typically in these fantasy romance books, the gods that they've worshipped for all these years, they're no good. They're not good. They're terrible. But basically, she has to train with him so that she can defeat the star that she is supposed to fall in love with, because she's like, I'm not gonna fall in love with him. I'm not. It's not gonna happen. There's lots of training scenes. There's lots of banter. There is tension. I wouldn't really classify this as a slow burn. It's very obvious from the beginning that they're supposed to be together, but I didn't need it to be a slow burn. I just wanted to have a good time and have a silly, fun, goofy time. I did. Although that ending had me gasping. I really like the magic system in this one because it's kind of a little bit Greek mythology and also a little bit astrological. Well, a lot of it astrological, but you can see the parallels between the two. And Imani Iriyu did an absolutely fantastic job with this. This is romantasy at its finest. I highly recommend it. It was a 5-star for me. There's only one book out in this series so far. This is unfinished, but I don't care. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't start that. There's only one book out, but I'm also someone who's like, I don't care. If I like it, I will continue the series whenever the next book comes out, you know? Since I've given you two series book recs, I'm gonna give you a standalone book rec now. This is a romantasy standalone. It is Amid Clouds and Bones by Ella Fields. And I did not know that enemies to lovers could be done so well in a romantasy standalone book. I was shocked that I loved this as much as I did. It was close to a 5-star for me. When I tell you the plot twisted, and I did not know what was happening, this is another one that was the right book, right time. It was a fun read. Don't take it too seriously if you decide to pick it up. It's just fun. So our FMC in this one, she is the half human, half a daughter of the human king. Okay, there's the Unseelie, the Seelie, and the humans, and she lives in the human kingdom. The Seelie and the humans team up to defeat the Unseelie, and in order to do that, she has been promised in marriage to the prince of the Seelie court. Of the Seelie kingdom? Of the Seelie kingdom. There you go. Anywho, he doesn't want to marry her. She doesn't want to marry him. him. They both think they're each equally atrocious. It's just a fun time. If you want a fun, spicy, little plot twisty, romantasy standalone time, pick this one up. We had fun standalone romantasy. Now we're gonna go fantasy romance series that's gonna rip your heart right out. Okay, we have the House of Devil series by Kayla Edwards. There are 4 books out. I believe it's going to be a 5-book series with a prequel. Don't take my word for that. Go look it up yourself because I'm not absolutely positive. This is a dark urban fantasy romance. Okay, emphasis on the dark again. This is the other one that was possible God tier for me last year. I'm not sure if it's going to stay possible God tier. We will see after book 4. There is a man in this book, the MMC, that is the absolute blueprint for a perfect MMC for me. Okay, he's emo sad boy, he's quiet, he's broody, he's got trauma, but he loves so hard. His name is Darian Castle, and I adore him. I'm on my knees for him. Okay, we all are, honestly. Let's say it as a collective, we're on our knees for Darian Castle. So our FMC Loren, she is a human in a world filled with non-humans. Okay, there are other humans. The humans are the weakest link, right? As they typically are. Her friend gets taken by a group of dark slayers, okay? And dark slayers are basically like the bounty hunters of this world. They're magical bounty hunters, so they can see people's auras, and that's how they can track people down. They're very, very good at their job, all right? But there is one group that is the best of the best, and that is the Devils. And who leads that group? Darian Castle. So whenever Loren's friend gets taken by a separate group of dark slayers, Darian gets told, hey, I need you to go hunt down this one girl who saw what happened and get rid of her. He goes and he's gonna do it, and it's Loren, of course, but he gets there and he's like, how can this human girl be a problem? Like, I'm not doing this. And he becomes her bodyguard instead. So you got a little bit of the bodyguard trope. She is very soft girl and he is very Rottweiler, if you will. But another thing is that other women are starting to disappear. It's not just her friend that went missing. So they try to get to the bottom of it, all right? And there's a connection that's forming between Loren and Darian as we go through it all. And as the books go on, the story gets bigger and bigger and the world expands and expands, and it is so good. Okay, we get more POVs the more we get into the books, and I love them. I love Darian Castle. Keep in mind that it is dark and it's an unfinished series. What do we have next? What do we have next? I think we're gonna go YA next. The YA series that I want to recommend to you, I don't know how many books are supposed to be in the series. I think it's 4. Like I said, don't take my word for it though. I don't know everything. I don't know hardly anything, if we're being honest. But there are 3 books out so far in this series. It is the Legendborn cycle by Tracy Deonn. This series is such a good YA series. I cannot talk about it enough. If you like King Arthur-esque magical worlds and things like that, this is going to be right up your alley. There's something about, what's the word Emmy used the other day? Arthurian lore? Yeah, I guess. That just gets me. So I told you this is a YA fantasy. It also takes place in academia, okay? So Bree, our FMC, goes away to the school that her mother went to, and her first night there, she decides, you know what? I'm gonna get a wild hair about me. I'm gonna go to a party. She shouldn't have gone because there's a demon that attacks the people there, and she ends up seeing things she wasn't supposed to see. All right, there's a whole secret society that basically protects the world from demons, and so she ends up joining the secret society. So that's slay. This is so good. It is so entertaining. I actually haven't read the 3rd book yet because I'm scared. I'm so scared. I keep seeing people crash out on the internet because of it, and I know I've talked about it, wanting to read the 3rd book, and I'll get there. Don't yell at me. I just haven't yet. In the 2nd book, Bree, our FMC's character growth just gets better and better, so I can't even imagine how it's going to be in the 3rd book. If you want a good YA fantasy, it has a very, very good love triangle in it. Here's the thing. A lot of you guys say that you hate love triangle. I think you just hate it whenever it's not done right. You should read it. Now we have my most recent read. I actually just finished this one day before yesterday. Shield and Sparrows. Shield and Sparrows. Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. This is romantasy. This follows our FMC Odessa, and Odessa is a princess. She is the eldest princess to her father. Okay, obviously her father's the king because she's a princess. You get what I'm saying. Anywho, but she's not the favorite. And the kings in this world, because there's multiple different kings, they get to choose which daughter is the sparrow. Because there is this treaty called the Shield of Sparrows, and the kings have to marry off their daughters in order to establish trade routes and connections with these other kingdoms and stuff. It's a whole thing. But basically, the sparrow gets married off. Okay, that's the whole point here. May, Odessa's younger sister, is the sparrow. And whenever her betrothed, the prince from a different kingdom, comes to meet her for the first time, he's like, I don't want you. I want your sister. And Odessa's like, what the hell, dude? I am not prepared for this. I'm not queen material. What's going on? My sister's been training for this her whole life. Turns out her sister has also been training to be a spy, okay? Because her father, their father, has a whole other plan to infiltrate this other kingdom. And so he's like, Odessa, you have to do this for me. And Odessa's like, I don't want to. But she doesn't really have a choice in accepting the marriage proposal. And so she does. So there's a prince, there's a super, super hot prince that she's supposed to marry, that she does marry. And he also has someone called the Guardian with him, okay? And he is also super, super hot and super growly. And the banter between everybody is just so good. The tension is so good. It is somewhat predictable, but it is a fun time. So if you go into it thinking, hey, this is just gonna be a fun book for me, I think you'll like it. This is also the first in a series. Another one that I recently read, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I love this book. Rachel Gillig is a master at her craft. The way that she can transport you into her books is insane to me. Okay, this is gothic fantasy romance. It's not romantasy in my opinion. It's gothic fantasy romance, but it does have more romance than the Shepherd King duology by her. So if you wanted more romance out of that, read this one. In this one, our FMC's name is Sybil, and she is a diviner. Okay, diviners basically dream and tell the future for people who can come and pay for it. But here's the twist. Whenever they have to tell the future, whenever they divine, they drown. They drown in this magical pool. Every 10 years, the diviners, they get to leave. They don't have to divine anymore. There are more girls that come in to divine and they get to leave. So they're like, oh shit, we don't have any life skills. Like, what are we gonna do after this? The new boy king comes and he's like, hey girls, tell my future. And so they decide they're gonna go out with the king and his knights one night. That's whenever things get a little wonky because some weird shit starts happening after that. And Sybil's like, I need your help finding out the truth to the king's head knight, Rory. And he wears eyeliner and he's moody and broody and he can't keep his eyes off her, but he's like, I hate you. I am not explaining this well at all. It's just so good, you guys. Okay, it's gothic fantasy romance at its finest. I love it. This is the first in a duology, so there's only gonna be 2. There's like a whole quest going on in this. And the plot twist at the end had me going, you should read it. Y'all knew I was gonna mention this one. Okay, Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. I loved this freaking book. This was a 5-star for me. I'm obsessed with it. This has my favorite FMC of the year so far. Kenna is our FMC and she lives in the human lands that border the Fae lands. Okay, the Fae haven't been seen in like 1,000 years and there's a bog separating the human lands from the Fae lands. Well, she goes fishing in the bog all the time for all these trinkets and things like that. Well, on the day that we start out in this book, she finds this jeweled knife that she's like, oh my God, this is worth so much money. I'm gonna sell this and me and my best friend are gonna get the hell out of Dodge and we're gonna live a really good life. But just so happens that that night there is this ceremony that goes on where the elder of the town says he has been divinely spoken to and there are 4 females that are going to be chosen to be given to the Fae. They have to run through the bog to get to the Fae lands as sacrifices. It's like a huge honor. Kenna's best friend gets chosen to go across to the Fae lands, which is not good. And so Kenna's like, no, this isn't happening. I'm gonna grab her and we're gonna leave. But she can't get to her quick enough. So she decides to go into the bog after her and these 3 other girls. And so she catches up with them and they're like, oh my God, what are you doing here? You weren't chosen. And she's like, look, I know this bog like the back of my hand. Y'all are about to get lost and or die. So we're gonna get the hell out. But things go incredibly wrong and she ends up in the Fae lands, becoming a handmaiden to what is essentially the princess of Earth House. There's like Earth, Fire, Void, those kinds of houses, and she ends up in Earth House, right? She has to help the princess through these trials so that the princess can gain her immortality and her full powers. So there's trials, but she's technically not the one that's trying to win them. Her lady is. So freaking good. I need you to read this. There's only 1 book out so far. I think it's gonna be a trilogy, but I'm not 100% sure. The FMC in this is so intelligent. Didn't get on my nerves. Absolutely fantastic. This needs more hype and I need more people to read it. I need you to appreciate this book like I do. Next, I know you see the pink. Direbound by Sable Sorensen. This book was a 5-star book for me. This is a fantasy romance. It's kind of on the edge of fantasy romance and romantasy, in my opinion. And it is the start of a series. I know this just got picked up for Trad Publishing, so I think we have to wait a little bit longer for the 2nd book to come out. Happy for them, sad for me. So in this one, the kids are being snatched up, okay? They're being kidnapped. And Marin, her sister, gets kidnapped. And Marin's like, no, that's not gonna happen. She's also an underground fighter. Like, she's a badass. And so in order to get her sister back, she's like, I need to join the army so that I can get across enemy lines so I can go get my sister back. Turns out, the day that she joins the army, it's also the start of the bonding trials. And it is not a choice. If you are joining, you have to participate. So she's like, shit, I don't wanna bond with a direwolf because that's what the bonding trials are all about. You have to scale up the side of a mountain and get to the top. And if you don't choose a direwolf and a direwolf doesn't choose you, then you're fine. You don't have to do it. Well, she gets there and she gets chosen. And she was like, no. And the wolf was like, pfft. And then she has to go through all of these trials and learn the bond and all of these things. And it's very, very entertaining. That was a very poor way of describing this book, but I need you to read it because it is so good. I was not bored at all. And it has a divine slow burn. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you should find out. Now we're going to talk about The Wolf King by Lauren Palfreyman. This is also a recent read. The first book is The Wolf King. The second book is The Night Prince. I don't know if it's a trilogy or not. This is romantasy and it is so good, except there's werewolves. Bella, where the hell have you been, Loca? Go into it knowing it's going to be spicy. It's going to be fun. You're going to have a good time. So in this one, our Princess Aurora, she doesn't want to be the princess. She doesn't want to get married off. Well, one night, her father and her betrothed take her down to the fighting rings where they make werewolves fight each other. And she's like, oh my God, this is inhumane. Because duh. And she makes eye contact with this alpha that is in the cage. And she's like, stop, no more fighting. She ends up going down to the dungeons to check on the boy that was having to fight the alpha. And the alpha's like, he's like, I'm gonna get out of here. And she's like, yeah, no, you're not. There's no way that you can. And he can tell that she also wants to get out of there. He can tell that she doesn't want to get married to this horrible, horrible man she's betrothed to. And basically, he breaks out of the dungeons, the alpha does, and he breaks into her room and he's like, come on, princess, we're leaving. They book it. And she's like, you know what? I'm actually not mad that he's taking me with him. So he takes her back to where all of the other wolves are. And there is another wolf there that Callum, the wolf that helped her escape, or really that kind of kidnapped her, princess snapped, if you will. He's like, hey, don't trust that guy. That guy's name is Blake. That guy caught my eye. This is love triangle done correctly. I went into this wanting just a fun time. I got a fun time out of it. And then I read The Night Prince, the second book. It stepped it up. I mean, like the first book, I was like, haha, this is fun. The second book, I was like, damn, this is good. It had something in it. It had something in it that kept my eyes glued to the page. I read these so fast during a work week, mind you, and just really loved it. So you should read these. So that is 10 fantasy romance book series or books in general. Now, if you guys want another part that is fantasy romance book recs of books that I've read a while ago, let me know. Just tell me, let me know. I love yapping about books. As we know, I've been yapping for a very long time at this point. So I'm also starting to not make sense to myself. So I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I love you guys so, so much. I hope you got a book rec out of this and I will see you guys next week.